My favorite things about skateboarding is feeling the wind in my face when I go fast, and I really like the feel when you're on the board. Like, you just feel taller, more powerful, stronger. I'm the king. Like, I can rule this world.
I had a reoccurring surf dream, and it would happen literally daily, weekly, and every time in the dream I would attempt to go for a surf, and you know, the waves could be fantastic, and I'd go to paddle in, and next thing you know, I'd be riding a pool noodle. Or I'd run to the closet looking out my window at the surf, and I'd run to go get my board, and my board would be snapped in half. Every single time I attempted to surf in these dreams, I couldn't surf. One day I just woke up and I realized something's calling me to the ocean. I didn't grow up as a skater. It was very new to me, but I understood building principles. So as I was looking at some designs, trying to just even start getting my head around ramps and arcs and spheres, a lot of the local skate community offered up a lot of great advice. My vision of the ramp was always to have something that not only skated really well, but was also pleasing to look at. So this is what was formerly a very large empty garage. One day my business partner Brian said, "Hey, do you want to put a half pipe in there?" And another local Cow Bay resident, Marty and Jenny King, had been housing a small half pipe in their barn, and they were looking to sort of reclaim the space. And so we kind of salvaged that, chopped it up, we put it back together. We used that for a little while, and then Brian had suggested maybe we should build a bowl. I moved here about just over 7 years ago. I had lived in Australia. My girlfriend, she did her teacher's college in Australia. So I went down to have an experience, and I decided to learn to surf, and had no expectation of it getting as ingrained into my sort of blood as it did. Went to university, did my 4 years at University of Waterloo. Had originally set my sights on being a chiropractor. I decided after 4 years that I didn't want to carry on with that route. I've always enjoyed working with my hands, so started getting into a little bit of carpentry, and when I felt confident enough with my abilities, I decided to venture out on my own, because I think naturally I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur and enjoy being my own boss and doing things exactly the way I like them to be done. I happened to have an old university buddy that had moved out here a few years previously with his wife. And I had come out here a couple times to visit and just really enjoyed Halifax. I found it a really inviting place, friendly. I loved that no matter where you went in Nova Scotia, you're always near water. So I got a call at a wedding saying this house in Cow Bay with 3 surf breaks in the backyard is up for rent, and my girlfriend and I just decided, hey, let's load up the truck, I'll load up my tools, you bring your school stuff, we'll go out there for a year, see if we enjoy it, see if we can find jobs. And it all just sort of snowballed from there, and then this property where the skate ramp is that came a few years later. It sort of kind of just organically grew. Like we had this empty space, and me and the partners didn't really know what to do with it, and then my one business partner, Brian, he grew up skateboarding and really wanted to sort of have a facility to skate in, and sort of the idea spawned to, you know, could we turn it into a skate bowl? And I was kind of looking at it and I was like, we could, but it's, you know, it's going to be very hard to marry a new ramp and corners into this sort of old construction. And so I was like, if you really want to make a quality bowl, we're going to have to start from scratch. This was a big build. This took a lot more energy than I had anticipated, and I think everybody anticipated. If you're going to build it right, build it strong. And we started from scratch. We laid the flats and started building half pipes and quarter pipes, and then it sort of kind of kept snowballing, and then it was kind of like, okay, it was sort of a piecemeal of Brian and I's design sort of it as a surf sort of practice zone, but then it was also influenced by more skate oriented individuals that made us see maybe the errors in the design from a surfing perspective to a skating perspective. And so literally month by month it kind of just took shape, and then we started to realize, well, this is a really great opportunity for the whole community.
I used to spend my time encouraging my son to do more traditional sports like hockey and basketball and whatnot, and I just, having not been involved in skateboarding in the past, I had this idea that my perception was an incorrect perception. It was that it encouraged hanging out, maybe up to no good, not exercising, not doing all the things I consider to be good things, but in fact it's just the opposite. They're getting lots of exercise, they're having lots of fun, they're interacting with each other, they're meeting each other.
It beats being on the video games and stuff like that, getting out and playing, and yeah, just being out there with their friends and stuff, right? That's what it's about.
This guy can do that.
Yeah, this is the little guy here, yeah.
It's interesting to watch because not only have the kids become interested, but the grown-ups have all been out here. We've been watching the dads, you know, not looking nearly as good as the kids, but it's gotten everybody together from 2-year-olds to 50-year-olds. So it's been wonderful.
Just seeing all the kids coming up, and you could just see how excited they were, and even the adults that didn't skate were excited, you know, to get in there and try it and see what it's like.
I'm not the best at it, and usually people say that I'm just wasting their time because they're just sitting around watching someone just going up and down. So I've been skateboarding for about a year or something.
And what do you say to those people who say that you're wasting your time?
I just don't care.
You know, it was a huge undertaking and a huge accomplishment for everybody involved, and you know, I think it was especially rewarding for John and I, considering how many hours we spent up here on cold nights, late nights, just bag tired and just finding our way through it, you know, because neither of us had really built a ramp before. So it was not only sort of a learning experience for us, but something that, you know, we kind of were able to look at and say, hey, wow, we built this, and this is pretty neat, you know. So yeah, it was a great feeling, and then obviously grabbed the boards and started skating it, you know, and then it's been being skated ever since.